pizza!
I make the rules, sucker! Boosh!
Ladies and gentlemen, the poker of the mask has returned. It's time for yet another commentary. Welcome to the reopening of the pizza store. I thought it would be a good idea to return to this commentary business, as I've come to get inspired of doing them again. Thank you, George Raccoon and Doodle Tunes, for waking up that fire in my belly. Anyway, what better way to kick off this return than to do a commentary on a user known as Rationbox, aka StarPotter80. He's known to be your stereotypical Bionicle G2 defender who can take any reasonable argument as to why someone would dislike the recently cancelled reboot of Bionicle. One of the people that happened to fall victim to his ridiculous G2 train is an old friend of mine that some of you may know as Trimondius. And sure, he probably doesn't need my help to get this guy off his back, but I've been waiting to do this kind of video on the Rationbox for a very long time, and this just happened to be the perfect opportunity for me to finally tackle him. Now granted, the video I will commentate on is from October of last year, but it's still somewhat relevant since he has continued with this kind of behavior towards another user that should not be named. With that said, let's get started. Man, it's good to be back.
Hey there people, Rationbox here, coming at you with another video. Today we're going to talk about Trimondius, a guy that some of you may have heard of. I sure have, because I have subscribed to him, until he acted like the quote-unquote snot-nosed brat that he is. Let's begin.
And already I see two problems with your video. Firstly, the fact that you are already reducing it to calling them names when barely 30 seconds of the video have lasted is quickly going to turn off viewers from listening to your side of the story and understanding your case. It also makes it come off as immature for one thing. Secondly, you're not even going to explain why he's a so-called snot-nosed brat and expect that your viewers knows every single thing that is going on between you and Trimondius. It doesn't work like that, Rationbox. Not everybody is going to be able to read your psyche if that is what you believe. Alright, I'm not able to show it to you in video form, but I can give you this screen cap of the image that he's put up. Look at this carefully. It may seem ridiculous now, but just wait until you see what is actually beneath the surface, because it's nothing like what is displayed here.
So first I just want to take a look at his YouTube channel right here. As you can see, it's alright. It's not the best. The cropping of that picture up there is pretty horrendous.
Oh yes, because that is totally what matters here. Never mind the lighting, the picture quality, the effect and editing of the background, things that actually matter. Now we have to look at how he has cropped the picture, since it's totally not YouTube's fault. Oh, okay, I see.
Let's take a look at his channel description. Hello newcomers, my name is Trimondius. I'm a veteran YouTuber who loves LEGO and Bionicle in general. I've been an integral part of the community. No, you have not. I'm gonna give you a list right now of people who have been. 3, 2, 1.
Really, Rationbox? You clearly have missed the point with what Trimondius meant with being an integral part of the Bionicle community. The amount of subscribers a user have does not make them automatically integral. It also has to do with what kind of impact they've had, what influence they've had, how they've done their part in the community. For example, can you name one BioTuber who started making Hero Factory revamps before Trimondius? Well, there you go. Also, I'm going to skip the rest of this segment since it is pretty pointless to begin with.
Those are not even all of them. Some of them have disappeared entirely, some of them have gone underground, and some are quite new.
Well, no shit, Sherlock. I think most people watching this video already knew that. You don't have to state the obvious.
For example, play stippling. But my point is, you have not been an integral part of the fucking community.
Yes, because you have had no impact at all in this community, because you don't have 5,000 subs or whatever. You are not integral at all.
I bet if I were to ask any average Joe in this BioTube community, do you know who Trimondius is? They would probably say, who?
Granted, it would depend on who you ask. If you were to ask people that have been in the BioTube community since, for example, 2010, you would find that a lot of people know who Trimondius is. Heck, I guess the same thing would be said about people like T-Rex Studios or Landshark. Oh wait, they're not integral enough for you because they don't have over 2,000 subs. Oh, I'm sorry. How silly of me.
Not that they would necessarily know who the fuck I am, but they probably wouldn't know who the fuck you are either.
Again, it would depend on who you ask. I'm not going to repeat this again because otherwise I will sound like a broken record.
Anyway, let's move on to the core thing that this video is going to focus on.
Oh wow, the core thing. You ready? You ready? Are you ready for it, guys? Let's see. The core thing.
The comment, battle, feud, hissy fit, temper tantrum. I don't know what to call it. Anyway, we're gonna move on to that.
Seriously?
So, let's read the first comment in the thread.
Seriously? I'm sitting here, expecting this to be this big, important video. And then I find out it's nothing more than a comment war. Well, there goes all the last hope I had for this community.
Welp, that song sucked. Congrats, I guess.
Wait, you mean this? Oh. Oh, this is going to be interesting. I need to get some popcorn to watch this train wreck.
Can anyone tell me how this is worth getting pissed off over? Like, is there anything in here that would necessarily make someone go off on a temper tantrum?
Not necessarily a temper tantrum, but I can say this much. Your comment or critique of the song is very vague at best. What is your reason for not liking the song? Is it the lyrics? The instrumentation? Were the vocals bad? Was the message unclear? Which is it? I need an explanation. Please, give me an explanation. And you know, it's not like Tremonius made that song himself. Shut up! Moving on.
No, right? Unless you are, like, 3, or maybe 5, or maybe a mental invalid.
Or if you're Donald Trump. Stop looking at me like that.
But somehow, Trimondius gets really fucking pissed off over this comment, and let's proceed to reading his, responses.
I don't think it's the song that annoyed you. It's the fact that the lyrics early matched what I had in mind. Making fun of fanboy retards like you who throw temper tantrums when Lego does not release a Makuta set or fucking commit suicide over it. Or the fact that they defend this mediocre line like it's God on earth.
Tremonius, I have one thing to say to you. You got it spot on!
Now, this comment is not at all proportional to the comment I left. This is really fucking petty. Like, Trimondius must be one of the most easily offended people I've ever fucking seen.
That was not him getting offended. That was him calling you out for not taking the message of the song into account. And considering what you've stated in the past Russian box, the timing is usual. It's not fantastic.
He gets really fucking defensive and really fucking whiny.
Okay, let me tell you this, Russian box. Swearing doesn't make your case any more convincing. Quite the opposite. It makes you come off as immature and, in your own words, whiny. If you want more people to take you seriously, you could at least try to write down a script for your videos, so that you might cut down with the swear words and not come off as a total childish jerk.
Because I said, welp, that song sucked. That must be the fucking thing that pissed him off.
No, it wasn't. You clearly do not see the bigger picture. What do you expect with a title like Bring Back the Glory? Or lyrics like The Sound That Lives While You Cry and Bleed? This was very clearly a message, and it flew right over your head.
Because the congratulations is me literally saying, hey, congrats for getting 1,000. Even though you haven't. That's it. Man.
Stop having an orgasm.
Oh, and by the way, keep in mind the part when he called me a fanboy retard. That's gonna come back and be quite ironic later on in this video.
Oh, I would love to see how that is ironic. Your whole channel, for one thing, oozes with it. For example...
I watch those animations because I get some story input from them, because that's the fucking point. They are short little clips meant to convey the story in a simple fucking way. I don't know how the fuck I have to, or how or why the fuck I have to explain this to you fucking guys. You should know this. You're like ignorant fucking dicks.
Oh yes, very ironic indeed.
Now, let's read my response.
Well, the song really did suck, and the fact that it fit what you had in mind is kinda sad. Temper tantrums. When Lego announced that there wouldn't be a Makuta set, I got a bit pissed, yes. But I made my own custom Mask of Ultimate Power and built Journey to 1 Makuta with the provided instructions. And then I made a how-to with 30,000 plus views currently.
Which nobody really cares about. What else?
And then I was quite satisfied. The mere fact that somebody found G2 enjoyable seems to piss you off. Calm down, bruh. Take a bong rip and relax. And realize that people have different opinions to yours.
That's funny. Coming from you. Really, this is coming from the guy that got on Gorix Studios' case for not liking the G2 shorts. And now he's telling us, oh, you can't accept people have different opinions. You didn't think anyone would notice this, didn't you?
You know what? This kind of reminds me of something.
No, you idioted cunt! No, you.
Nah, it's just probably nothing.
Wait. So you're just going to reference a past event without any further insight or explanation, and then expect your viewers to know what is going on. Really, it doesn't accomplish anything to your video and just makes it inconsistent and confusing. We cannot read minds, no matter how much you wish we can.
Anyway, my response to him was pretty much just pointing at him, laughing at him, and calling him absurd because he is.
And thus bringing me a couple of laughs. I'm glad you did that.
What a surprise. Anyway, now I'm just gonna play the rest of the comments with me reading them and periodically jumping in and responding to them.
Because I clearly don't know what a dramatic reading is, but whatever.
Let's begin.
Dude, you're one of the last people to talk to me about criticism.
Best baby cry ever. Nah, not really. That was just horrible.
Don't be a fucking hypocrite and play the I'm a saint argument.
Okay, let's see what he has written down here. It's not a thing. Yeah, that's the point. That was Trimondius purposely using an over-exaggeration. Not everything has to be taken literally, you know.
Or you didn't have enough flamdas from Raso talking about you being one-sided and not taking criticism. Or the numerous times you got mad at Nukamu when he argued with you. Or the fact that in your G2 has ended video you sounded like a kid who got sad after Mummy took away his toys. Don't tell me to calm down since I'm clearly not the one needing that.
That I agree with.
And one more thing, I don't have anything against people who enjoyed G2. Heck, my best friend is a G2 fanboy and I don't mind.
Oh, that's funny, Russian Box, because I thought you said this just a few minutes earlier.
Calm down, bruh. Take a bong rip and relax. And realize that people have different opinions to yours.
Care to explain yourself, buckaroo?
What I do mind is people like you who feel justified to defend this shitty line at any costs. Saying stuff like, if they don't bring back Bunko G2, I'm going to bomb Lego. I'm going to commit suicide because of a fucking Makuta set. We will send Lego tens of hundreds of hate mail for their transgressions that they ended G2. Yeah, because I also totally didn't make that response just because I hate his favorite HF set. Oh wait, yeah, that is exactly...
Alright, I'm gonna skip a few seconds of this nonsense because in the end none of this really matter.
Well, you got pissed just because I commented, well, that song sucked. Congrats, I guess, on your video. So yeah, you need to calm your tits. Then why do you keep shitting on people for liking it? I defend it because it has some great stuff within it, none of which you care to find out about. Like what books 2 and 3 are actually about.
Ration Box, just give up. Bionicle G2 was horribly executed. The characters were uninteresting, the story was flat, the villains were one-dimensional, and as for the books, they did nothing to expand the story further. There was nothing of interest that came out of them, except for maybe the names of the protectors. But that's it! And you may defend it all you want, but I'm just going to be brutally honest with you. G2 could have been so much better than what we got. You may like it, but others won't. End of story.
Thanks for grouping me in with people, just like the SJWs do it. Obvious sarcasm is obvious.
Well, can you blame him when you say something like this?
You're like ignorant fucking dicks!
Just saying.
I'm sure I also made that video not just for an HF set. Your content of character is despicable and it proves my point. You can't take criticism and try to bring out surprise, a straw man argument. I wouldn't give two shits for people like you who lack any moral...
You know what, I'm just going to skip Tremondius' comments from this point on. unless there's something I want to point out. So this won't be dragging too much.
Well, if you really think about it, Bionicle Gen 1 and G2 are really similar, at least when you compare 2001 and 2015, because 2001 was about the Toa collecting masks to fight Makuta, and Bionicle G2 was about the Toa collecting masks to awaken the Mask Maker and fight Kolta. Like, they're really similar. The only difference is that the Toa don't fight Makuta right off the bat, but instead fight one of his minions, and they also awaken the all-important character in the first year, instead of 8 years later.
That may be true, but the difference is that G1 was better executed. It brought us to this strange world we'd never visited before. We got to meet characters that had their own different personalities. We saw cultures different from our own, villains that were not only scary but mysterious. It gave this sense of never-ending exploration, and that is what made most people go back to Bionicle. And I don't have to repeat what I feel about G2, because I think you get the point that I'm trying to get across here.
Then I assume you must have either forgotten or deliberately did not mention these two contests. One of them were for the Golden Skull Spider mask, and the other were for the Golden Mask of Creation.
Which nobody actually cared about. I'm sorry, but that's just how I see it.
Yeah, cause having 63 masks included in 35 sets, 2 polybags, and 3 exclusive event giveaways is totally not a collectible number in any kind of way. Pfft, who would be stupid enough to think that?
With collectibles, he's referring to the numerous Kanoi you could collect, most of them being in different colors than presented in the original sets. Same with the Krana, same with the Krata, the Kanoka, the Squids, there's some more. Should I even continue on this list? With G2, collectibles were unheard of besides the golden masks. The difference? They came with the sets. Well, so much for collecting the masks in different colors, I guess.
Why would I take a moral stance on a toy line? And subjectivity is not what I strive for. I try to strive for some kind of objectivity.
And you're doing a fine and dandy job of doing so. Not really.
Because I had no clue that the video revolved around it. And I wanted to congratulate you for almost reaching 1,000 subs. That's why. Are you talking about my latest videos, or are you talking about videos I released almost 2 months ago? Because now I have a quality standard. Since about mid-July.
The fact that you have pushed me, of all people, into making this commentary on you? Yeah. Real quality standard we got here now, don't we?
And, by the way, nice way of using anecdotal evidence. XD. Lazy story ideas like what? Mask collecting? Awakening an important individual? Having the backstory being explained as a campfire story? Uniting with something to gain greater power? What?
Okay, I have to admit, when we talk about the story of G2 being lazy, we mean lazy for Bionicle. G1 became a whole expanded universe. We got to learn about things like the Great Beings, the Great Cataclysm, Spherus Magna, the Staff of Artica, the Order of Madanui, and so on. Let us also not forget that the author of the Bionicle storyline, Greg Farsty, wrote side stories to make us more interested in the lore. So maybe you shouldn't be surprised that as Bionicle fans, we expect at least some sort of quality content.
The other points aren't even worth commenting on, since they have nothing to do with the theme itself. What do you mean with collectibles? Do you mean a separate bag with random assortments of masks or discs? Or do you mean something that people can collect without it being a blind bag?
Both.
If you pick the second one, Bionicle G2 has a fuck ton of collectibles. The masks and printed pieces released throughout the entirety of G2. G1 used gray, black, and white everywhere, and HF used gunmetal and silver everywhere. What's your point? The silver breaks up the gold pretty well, since it's spaced out and placed in ways that don't clump it together. In my opinion, anyway. Nah, you've convinced me that you despise G2.
Again, can you blame him? With G2 being the downgrade it was, it really makes it a letdown. Because so much more could have been done with the source material.
Well, since Ninjago got a lot of advertising and a show right off the bat, it isn't surprising that it lasted longer, since G2 got neither of those things.
It's also getting a movie. In case you didn't know that.
Nope, it's just an observation.
Since they also clump people they hate in with everyone of the same belief, even if other people don't agree with that person, or if the person they hate don't agree with the other people. Since this flame war that you started, kinda ironic.
Oh wow, I just love this excuse. It makes you so mature, Regenbox. You started this! This is your fault because you started it! I hate to be blunt with you, but grow up.
Is going to get out of hand eventually. Would you consider having a one-on-one Skype call in the near future?
And talk to you about what? How you can't take it and you're dragging this on for only your narrow-minded ideas? No, I don't think I'll enact that just for the sake of having to argue against a brick wall.
By the way, you should visit a proctologist to see if he can remove that big head of yours out of your ass. Why not? You seem so sure that you're right. Surely you can't fail.
What are you, chicken? You don't dare challenge me into a Skype duel, you insignificant little Maybe he just got tired of your stupid ass.
And you should graduate out of kindergarten so that you can learn some better disses, you wince-worthy imbecile.
Ha 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 ha. Yeah, nice going being the big man in the argument. Not.
Congrats on being the more mature one by throwing a nice triple insult at the end there.
Oh, I guess worthy is now an insult.
You know, Try, he does have a point there. Just saying.
Really good one. Just as John Ryaso Indian did, you deserve a good block. You really can't take a differing opinion. Bye-bye.
Again, that's funny coming from you, considering what you have said in the past. And I have plenty of evidence in my hard drive to prove it. Not saying that to challenge you or anything like that, just pointing out that it kind of feels hypocritical of you to say that he can't take criticism when you are guilty of doing the same thing. Just pointing that out there.
So, now that that's over with, I can move on to the little tiny bits that did not make it into the main video.
Box, audio editing is your friend.
Number 1 is, remember back in the video where he said, you get so many dislikes nowadays because your content sucks and mine doesn't. Well, let's take a look back at when this comment conversation took place.
This should be good.
He released a video on the 10th of September, where this comment conversation took place.
And this video was uploaded a month later. Your point is?
He released a video on the 10th of September by the name of Bring Back the Glory of Bionicle or some shit like that.
Here's the full title of that video, for those who are curious to see.
And I released a video on the 11th of September. Guess which one has the most views? Mine. Suck it.
Views doesn't always come as the main factor in what video has the most likes and dislikes, and the fact that you ended by saying suck it just makes you come off as a view whore in the end. I say, let's remove the views and just look at the liking ratio of both videos. Yep, that's pretty self-explanatory.
Second thing is, Trimondius removed all of his comments in this thread. I don't really know why. I do have my suspicions, but who the fuck really cares?
I hate to use this argument because it's been done to death, but really, if you truly didn't care, why did you make this video?
And the third and final thing is the fact that this video was originally going to be longer. Because I had an entire second act planned, as you could call it, of me going over a 2-month-old at this point podcast that Trimondius had with Axel Bro, Ian Gorix, and Mr. Cup of Fail. This was going to be me just debunking some of the horrible arguments and horrible things they said.
Quote-unquote debunking. You know that stuff you said earlier about people having different opinions? You just blew that out of the water. You just contradicted yourself all in the same video with your own words. Good job, man. Good job. Idiot.
Or horrible things. Maybe I shouldn't say that. Stupid things that they said.
Now, which one is it? Horrible or stupid? Or maybe stupid or horrible? Or stupid? Stupid horrible? Stu-horribitable? Pick whatever you like.
In that video. But it's never gonna happen unless I make a little shoddy video of me picking out the smallest, most important things that I found in that video anyway. Just me debunking that.
Oh, I would love to see you try that.
But there's not gonna be a full-blown fucking, cover of that one, because...
Okay, let me point this out to you again. Swearing randomly does not make you come across as mature. It makes you unconvincing.
It's 54 minutes long. It's gonna take me a year to edit, etc, etc, etc.
So basically, it's just a waste of time for people like me that want to see something with actual quality. Okay, thanks for letting me know. I appreciate it.
So it's not fucking worth it. Anyway, that's the end of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, like. And if you didn't, dislike.
With much pleasure.
because, you know, it gives me the same amount of publicity anyway, just that one is good and one is bad. I don't really care. Just do it. Either or, bitch. Choose!
And he ends the video right there. In the end Russian box, if you want to come across as reasonable or convincing in arguments like this, try to actually bring up good points to back you up with instead of just blindly defending G2, where they clearly have large issues to begin with. While G1 has its own flaws and problems, it's important to note that G2 is not an exception to that rule. And believe me, if this was any other Bionicle G2 fanboy, I would have probably just ignored this. But your tone, your attitude, the way you bring your point across, it makes you come off as arrogant, immature, unreasonable, and, I hate to say it, egocentric. And that is going to get you a lot of criticism on the internet, no matter where you turn, not just the Bionicle community. People have every right to dislike G2 for its flaws as much as you have the right of finding pleasure in G2. Tramondius and I are clearly not the first to point this out to you, and unfortunately, we probably won't be the last. And that completes this episode of Pizza Store. I hope you enjoyed this commentary and feel free to give some feedback if there were things that could have been better for the next episode. And with that I say, this is Pokemask and I'll catch you all later. Peace.